Wait, did you guys hear that? Thank you guys so much for 100 subscribers. I cannot tell you how crazy it is seeing these numbers on my short and on the last video I put out. So thank you guys so much for the love and support. This is a crazy milestone for me. I hope to continue to put out more and more videos like this. Thank you guys. Enjoy the video. Alright guys, welcome back to another episode of Looters of Atlantis dev blog. I believe we're on episode 9 now. Not a whole lot to go into today, just wanted to kind of make another part to this whole series I'm making. So what changes have I been doing? You know, the month of November was kind of crazy, you know, holidays, everything like that. So not a whole lot of crazy changes, but I do want to go into one of the major ones I've been working on, which is the keybinds. So right now we have the gameplay settings that I've shown you, the video, audio, that's all been there, and now we have the controls. So here's kind of a unofficial list of all the controls and keybinds for some of the modes, gameplay, menus, all that type of stuff. And again, this is not a final list. Right now they're not bindable, as you can see when I click on that. Yep, so they're not bindable, but the idea was to kind of test these out, swap out. I had to swap out every single place where I was putting and placing these different keys and using these different keybinds in the game, make sure that they were using the correct ones and that the sprite icons were using the correct ones. And I also had to create new sprite icons too for this. So that's something that I also did. I just remade all of these keybind sprites, so they should look a lot clearer in the game itself. And I may have done that a little bit in the past before, but just want to mention again. This is also going to eventually include controller support. That's going to be probably later down the road when I have time. So that'll be in something else I do. Also did some small changes here and there, mostly just like sound effect stuff. Nothing like too crazy. You see it. Like I have a chest opening, closing sound effect there. Aside from that, I mean, fortunately I don't have a whole lot to update you guys on. I've added like a few sound effects here and there, mostly just keybinds, bug fix, stuff like that. But I do have some news to share with you guys. We may be bringing on somebody new to the team here coming up very soon. I don't want to share too much about who or what, just depending on how everything goes. I think we should have a huge contributor to the game, and that is going to be very exciting. I can't wait to share it with you guys once it's all official. Probably see more about it next year in January. I figured I'd mention it in this little short video here that I'm making. I say short because it's probably going to be really short. I promise you guys that this is there's going to be a lot more changes. I'll go ahead and break down some of these, not like break them down, but more so just explain like my thought process. So here you kind of have the movement right here. You have your boat movement for the player and stuff. You have alternate keys for that. I've also made it where up, down, left, and right on the keypad works as well. So that's cool. That works now. Aside from that, every keybind was kind of already present here, but now you can actually see what they are, which is, you know, just some huge quality life change. I've kind of just added these last three here recently because I forgot to add them. So, you know, this list is ever changing. There's going to be probably more or less. Some things might be moved and changed. So don't expect this to be the final list, like I said before. Aside from that, this is kind of my thought process on what I think we want to do. I designed it this way so that it, you know, fits on the screen. I've made the scroll bar work with this too, which is really nice. Also kind of done some work with the scroll bars here as well. Now it's still a work in progress, but the scroll bar size should be relatively better or more accurate to what's actually on the screen, as well as the fact that when you click on the drop down saves and whatnot, it should relatively be better at showing all of the saves. That's with an asterisk. It's still a work in progress, but you know, that's kind of what I was working on too, because I'm trying to make sure the scroll bar worked with this as well as with the games. So still work in progress, but definitely making some huge progress on that. I'm definitely gonna, I think next changes on that is gonna be like filter searching, page numbers, all that cool stuff. So going to be working on the game save display as well. Like I mentioned before, you can see like Jimmy Hands is right here. The next big mode that we're making that I finally have some wireframes for now is the naval combat or naval battles. I'm not sure exactly what we're gonna call this mode, like Navy battles or yeah. Well, if you guys have any suggestions for names in the comments, definitely leave them down there. Basically, the gist of this game is it's going to be another turn-based mode or mini game. Before you battle Jimmy Hands, you're in the duel and the crew battle, you're going to steer your ship along a hexagonal kind of grid system. You're going to have different movement amount. You're going to have wind and sails, and it'll all make sense once we have the game actually more implemented and I have a rough version of it working. Hopefully by the next update I have that implemented, and you'll get to see what that looks like. So that's kind of a little tease of some of the mechanics we're planning for that, but we want to make it fun and interesting. Yeah, that's something to look forward to, and to the news that's coming up. Hopefully in the next video I'll have more, as well as just I'll also have maybe some news on this person who is joining our team. So yeah, stay tuned for that, and hope you guys have a good one. This is a little short one. Just gonna wrap it up right here. See you guys.